Alright, hey guys, remember CCG back in the video. This remember you guys some Speedroid combos and the deck profile post Supreme Darkness. We're to get started here with the first combo. So here we're going to special summon out Terrortop, activate its effect, then get ourselves our Marble Machine, normal summon the Marble Machine, activate its effect here, and get the new Clackernel Speedroid monster. So now we're going to link away and go into our high-speed rubber band shooter, activate the rubber band shooter here in order to get ourselves the double Yoyo and the Taketomborg. So the nice thing about double Yoyo is that if you do get this one, you're going to be able to normal summon it, special summon out the Taketomborg. If you still get the Taketomborg, you're still able to extend. You're just going to have to play it a little differently here. But besides that, we're going to normal summon the double Yoyo, use its effect here to get the Taketomborg. Then we're going to activate its effect, tribute it, and get ourselves a Speedroid Red Eye Die. Activate its effect here. Make it a level 2 so we can level modulate, go into the Cork Shooter, activate its effect here in order to get ourselves the Red Eye Die and the double Yoyo. And now we can get our Clackernel, activate its effect. So here with Clackernel, once it's in the Pendulum Zone, you can use it to banish one Speedroid card from your graveyard and place one Speedroid Pendulum monster from your deck in your other Pendulum Zone. So here we're going to put our new Speedroid Wing Synchron. And the nice thing about this card is that you're able to pop it with your Clackernel here in order to get a Clear Wing Dragon. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get ourselves our Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. Activate the effect of both of these. The nice thing about Speedroid Wing Synchron is that if this card is added to the extra deck face up, and there are 2 or more different monster types among the Wing Synchro monsters you control, which of course we do have a Dragon and Machine, then we're going to be able to actually pitch a trap card to the graveyard. And then we're going to use the Clackernel's effect in order to special summon out another copy of it from the deck. So you can see here that we decided to pitch our Clearing Wonder, and the nice thing about this card is that you can banish it from your graveyard, then target one Wind Synchro monster you control, banish it, then return it to the field. Now the important thing about this is that it's only going to happen if your opponent special summons a monster, but it can reset soft once per turns, so it's pretty powerful. Now we're going to Synchro Summon, go into our High Speed Glider 2, activate its effect to special summon out our Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. And now we can Synchro Summon and go into the new Crystal Clearwing over Synchro Dragon. So this card is pretty insane. It's the new boss monster for the deck. Once returned when another card or effect is activated, you can negate the activation, and if you do destroy that card and it fills a monster, you're going to be able to gain that attack as well. And if this face-up Synchro Summon card and it's under control leaves the field by your opponent, you can special summon one Clearwing monster from your extra deck, and that's why it's nice running that extra copy. But Clearwing in general, that's pretty nice. You're just able to get out any Clearwing monster here. And yeah, it's a 1-card combo that sets us up with our Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon that is able to turn into a Towers during your opponent's turn. It's also a Spell Trap Negate. And then we have our Crystal Clearwing over Synchro Dragon here, that it's an Omni Negate and is also going to be able to get you out another Clearwing monster from your extra deck. So a pretty powerful combo for just 1 card. So let's go to the next combo that I have for you guys. Alright guys, so the next combo that I have for you is a 2-card combo using 2 copies of Speedroid Marble Machine. So we're going to normal summon our Marble Machine here, activate its effect in order to get our Taketomborg. Then we're going to activate Taketomborg's effect, get our Red Eye Dice. Then we're going to be able to go into Hi-Speedroid Cork Shooter. So normally you want to special summon out the materials, but because obviously it's a Pendulum monster, we're going to have to search out a Spell or Trap. That's exactly what we're going to do here and get ourselves our Speedroid Scratch. And now we can pitch the Marble Machine in order to get our Clackernel. Activate the effect of Clackernel, then use the effect here to banish the Speedroid Scratch in order to get ourselves our Speedroid Wing Synchron. Activate its effect here and get ourselves our Clearing Synchro Dragon. Use our effects just like we did before, but this time we're going to pitch our Speedroid Dupligate that's able to special summon itself out as a tuner, and so it just makes it, well, you're going to see what it's going to be able to do here. So we're going to Synchro Summon and go into our Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon. So again, very easy to get this guy out. Before, this was the previous boss monster for the deck. It was kind of overwhelming. It was able to make itself a Towers, but a Spell Trap Negate isn't too crazy. It just was, and it was also pretty difficult to get out as you needed 1 tuner Synchro monster and 1 or more non-tuner Clearwing monsters. But now you can just use it by using the Pendulum monsters. You can easily get out your Clearwing Synchro Dragon, and then we obviously always get out our Cork Shooters that's able to special summon its materials out, and so you can extend from that and just get this free Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Now we're going to link away and go into our high-speed rubber band shooter, activate its effect here. So here we're going to choose to get the Speedroid Ultra Hound. So if you happen to get the double Yoyo, it's still nice because you're still able to extend your plays as you're able to bring out a level 3 or lower Speedroid monster from your graveyard. But here we're going to get our Speedroid Ultra Hound, which is really great just because we do really want to normal summon this. But both of these are normal summon targets, so it's fine either way. So now we're going to normal summon our Ultra Hound, activate its effect, and pitch our Den and Daiko. Use this effect here in order to special summon out the Red Eye Die. Then we're going to use some level modulation here, make it a 4, and go into our Hi-Speedroid Glider 2. And so like I said before, if you happen to go into the double yo-yo, you could use that to bring out your Speedroid Red Eye Die, do some level modulation, and you can end up with the Clearwing Synchro Dragon. But either way, we're going to Synchro Summon and go into the Crystal Clearwing over Synchro Dragon, which again we covered before, but this is an Omni Negate for the deck. It's pretty powerful as well. And so here, using a 1.5 card combos, as you really just need to discard the Marble Machine, you're going to be able to get out a Crystal Clearwing over Synchro Dragon and your Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon. So let's go to the third combo that I have for you that is also Nibiru proof. Before I continue the video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I have a Patreon where you can help support the channel while also influencing the content I create. The link will be in the description, so make sure to check it out. Alright guys, so with this combo, you're going to see I have 2 cards in my hand, and the Nibiru is just to have it there so that we're able to use it on the opposite side. And then you really just want to have a Speedroid card in your graveyard for your Clackernel. Besides that, we're going to go into our Speedroid Terrortop, activate its effect here, use the Clackernel's effect, get our Speedroid Synchro Dragon here, and it can easily go into the Clearwing Synchro Dragon as we did previously. Use Clackernel's effect, bring out this Speedroid Clackernel. Then we can Synchro Summon into the Crystal Wing. And now our opponent will attempt to use Nibiru. It's right on the 5th summon. You already have your Crystal Wing, so you can just deny that. And now we can go into our Hi-Speedroid Glider 2. Activate its effect here and bring out our Clearwing Synchro Dragon. And this is the nice thing about the Hi-Speedroid Glider 2 is just the fact that you're able to target a non-tuner level 7 or lower wind synchro monster in your graveyard, bring it out, and just synchro summon afterwards. And here we end up with a Nibiru proof combo that lets you end up with the Crystal Wing and your Crystal Clearwing over Synchro Dragon. Just again, a pretty powerful end board. Now let's go to the final combo that I have for you guys. Okay guys, so the final combo that I have for you is a 2-card combo using Speedroid Terrortop and Speedroid Taketomborg. So we're going to special summon out our Terrortop, activate its effect here in order to get ourselves the Marble Machine. Normal summon the Marble Machine, activate its effect to get the Clackernel. Then we use Taketomborg's effect to get out the Red Eye Die. Do some level modulation here so that we're able to go into the Cork Shooter, activate Cork Shooter's effect, bring back the materials back from the grave. The nice thing about Red Eye Die is that it's not a hard one to return, so you can just keep doing some level modulation and get ourselves the Martial Metal Marcher. That's exactly what we're going to do. Get ourselves the Red Eye Die. We're not going to do any level modulation and go into our Hi-Speedroid Hagoida. Then we can Synchro Summon and go into Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Then with Clackernel here, easy setup as I showed you previously. You're just able to get this Clearwing for free and also get another tuner out of it and a card to pitch to the graveyard. And so we're going to go into our Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Use the effect of Dupligate here in order to special summon it out by reducing one of the levels. And then we can get out Link Away into our High-Speed Rubber Band Shooter. Use Rubber Band Shooter's effect here. Usually we're going to have a level 7 monster as a target, so you want to make sure you have a few of them there. As we do like to go into the double Yoyo Ultra Hound or double Yoyo Taketomborg if we need to. There's just a lot of combinations that really go well with level 7 here. So now we're going to normal summon once again, go into the Ultra Hound and pitch to then the Daiko, which will then give us the ability to bring out the Red Eye Die. Use Red Eye Die's effect, get ourselves the Ultra Hound. So again, we could just end up with this, normal summon the double Yoyo, bring out the Red Eye Die, and you would just avoid using the whole Den Daiko thing, so it doesn't really matter which one you get here. Then we can go into our plane here, bring out the Clearwing Synchro Dragon, Synchro Summon, and go into our Crystal Clearwing over Synchro Dragon. So here you end up with 3 boss monsters of the deck, just as the deck has been evolving, which I think is pretty cool. We have our Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which was kind of the staple for the deck, and obviously it was used in other decks, but it's cool to see here. Then we have our Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon that was a little disappointing, but it's still a Towers, and it's a Spell Trap Negate. And now our new boss monster here, which is Crystal Clearwing over Synchro Dragon, and you can kind of see how the names have evolved here. We went from Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon to Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon, and then to Crystal Clearwing over Synchro Dragon. So they just kind of added one word every time. But it's a powerful end board that's going to be very difficult for your opponent to deal with. So let's get started here with the new Speedroid Wing Synchron. This card is pretty powerful as you're able to use it to not only bring out a Clearwing Synchro Dragon, but also pitch a Speedroid Spell or Trap from your deck to your grave. And the usual target for this will be Duplicate or our Clearwing Wonder. Wonder here is able to reset your soft once per turns as you're able to banish your monster and then bring it back onto the board. And then we can pitch our Duplicate here to get another tuner onto the board. board. Second card that we have a one of is a Speedroid double Yo-Yo. So when this card is normal summon, you can target one level 3 or lower Speedroid monster in your graveyard and special summon it. This card is just powerful because it's a great safety net for your Hi-Speedroid rubber band shooter. Usually we're going to go for 7. Sometimes we need our Speedroid Ultra Hound or we need our like Terrortop. You can just go into double Yo-Yo just in case. If you happen to get double Yo-Yo here, you can bring out the Terrortop, get its effect. Same thing with Taketomborg. If it gets pitched, you can bring that out, use its effect. Ultra Hound, you're not going to be able to, but if you have our red eye die in the graveyard, you're just going to be able to use it for pretty much what you wanted to achieve with it anyways. So this card is pretty insane just as a little safety net. Then we have one copy of Speedroid Fuki-Modoshi Piper. This is going to give you a way to kind of clean up your hand. You're going to be able to excavate a bunch of cards, choose one of them, and then continue your plays by getting the right card you need. So now we have 3 copies of Speedroid Terrortop. This card used to be under some restrictions, but now we can run it fully at 3. And so it's pretty powerful. It's not the decks that were able to abuse it before just isn't really that impactful anymore. So now we can just totally use this for Speedroids. It's able to special summon itself out and be a searcher. It's just an amazing card here. One copy of Daiko Duke, as you're able to use this to special summon a tuner monster from your graveyard. Has a lot of flexibility with that. 3 copies of CarTurbo. This card is able to special summon itself out, and it's a tuner monster. That's nice. And also you can get the 800 attack boost when it's in the graveyard, which is relevant at times for finishing your opponent. Then we have 2 copies of Speedroid Ultra Hound. You can pitch a Speedroid card from your deck to your graveyard. There's a lot of Speedroid cards that have effects in the graveyard. I already told you about the 2 traps here, but also our Daiko. Then we have 3 copies of Taketomborg. This card is able to tribute itself in order to special summon a Speedroid tuner for your deck. Depending on what you need, usually you can get what you need out of this card. And not only that, if you control wind monster, you can special summon it out. Then we have 3 copies of the new Speedroid Clackernel. This card is able to banish a Speedroid card from your graveyard and place 1 Speedroid pendulum monster from your deck in your pendulum zone. The target for this will be the Speedroid Wing Synchron. You just want to get the other one out and then pop them both, get your clear wing synchro dragon, and that's nice. And then you afterwards, because it's popped, you're able to special summon another copy of it. That's why you want to run the 3 copies, just to ensure that you're able to actually use this combo. Then we have 3 copies of Speedroid Marble Machine. When it's normal summon, you can add a Speedroid monster from your deck to your hand. Just a great searcher. 1 copy of Red Eye Die. Red Eye dies, you just need the 1 copy here. You're going to be using it in the graveyard, recycle it. It's a soft once per turn, level modulation, just an amazing tuner. The ideal tuner for this deck. 3 copies of Ash Blossom and 3 copies of Mulcharmy Fuwalos. This is great just because solid hand traps, great way to kind of punish your opponent here and also fix up your hand. 1 copy of Triple Tag Talent, because if your opponent tries to play during your turn, you can punish that a bit. 1 copy of Speedroid Scratch, 1 copy of Speedroid Scratch. Sometimes you need a Speedroid card in your graveyard in order to use your Clackernel, so this card can be useful in those instances. And also it's able to search out any Speedroid card or Speedroid monster, and also it's able to search out any Speedroid monster, so some amazing flexibility to that. Then we have 3 copies of Speed Recovery. So this card is definitely one that I'm gonna have to test more to see really how many copies I want to have this at. I've seen some people that just completely ditch this card, and some are still running at a 3. I really like this card. It was really integral back in the day, just for getting some combos out, as this card was a soft once per turn, and it was your safety net in case your opponent happened to stop one of your Speedroid monsters. You could bring back one of your soft ones per turns and continue playing. But yeah, we're definitely gonna have to see it. But it's also able to bring a Speedroid monster in your graveyard back to your hand. Just an amazing card overall. 2 copies of Speedroid Wheel. You can get a bunch of things on the board. It doesn't really matter what you roll. Obviously there's certain combinations that are more ideal, but filling up your board with a bunch of monsters and then using them, either linking them away or synchro summoning if you're able to, is always good. 3 copies of Imperm, because it's Imperm. 1 copy of Dupligate. You can banish 1 wind monster from your graveyard, then target 1 card your opponent controls, return to the hand. So it's a bouncer, but normally you're going to be using this, pitch it to the graveyard, and then just activate its effect in order to bring itself out as a tuner. Then we have 1 copy of the new Speedroid Clearing Wonder. You can target cards your opponent controls up to a number of different monsters among the wing synchro monsters you control and pop them. And then from there, you can also banish it in order to bounce it, in order to flicker a card on the board, in order to reset its effect. Before I continue the video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I have a Patreon where you can help support the channel while also influencing the content I create. The link will be in the description, so make sure to check it out. And here in the extra deck, we have 1 copy of the new Crystal Clearwing over Synchro Dragon. Once per turn, 1 other card or effect is activated, you can negate the activation, and if you do destroy that card, there is nothing about it being a hard once per turn add as well. So you're going to actually be able to use our Speedroid Clearing Wonder to reset that, and you have 2 Omni Negates that you can use. and it gets some attack boost. Obviously it's going to get a reset if you do decide to flicker that, so just keep that in mind. And if this face up synchro summon card in its owner control leaves the field by an opponent, you can special summon one clearing monster from your extra deck, and that's great. Any clearing monster, just get it out. One copy of the Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon. So this card, once per turn when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can activate this effect until the end of this turn. This face up card becomes a towers, and not only that, when a spell trap effect is activated, you can negate the activation, and if you destroy it, and then if this card happens to be sent to the graveyard, you can add one wind monster from your deck to your hand. Again, soft once per turn, so use your Clearing Wonder, abuse that. Then we have our Hi-Speedroid Kitedrake. This card is pretty fun to get out. Whenever you get an instance to get this out, it's always pretty fun. You can either use this to wipe the board or to negate all cards your opponent currently controls. It's a pretty powerful situational monster here. 2 copies of Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. This card is a monster negate. It gets an attack boost. It's pretty strong. 2 copies of Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. This card, you want to run 2 copies of it just because it's way easier to get out now, and you really do need it just because you want to go into your Crystal Clear Wing over Synchro Dragon and your Crystal Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. 1 copy of the Stardust Charge Warrior in case you need a level 6 decent synchro monster, then there you go. 1 copy of Fagoida. It's able to special summon itself out for the graveyard. 1 copy of Chambara. This is a finisher card. 1 copy of the new Hi-Speedroid Glider 2. So this card is nice because you can just target a non-tuner level 7 or lower wind monster in your graveyard and special summon it out. Usually you're going to target your Clear Wing here, and then you can synchro summon and go into your Crystal Clearwing over Synchro Dragon. Just a powerful, easy combo to do. And then we have 2 copies of Hi-Speedroid Cork Shooter. This card is still very powerful as it's able to bring special summon out its materials and also search out a Speedroid spell trap depending on what you need. Usually you're going to get out the materials, but now that we have some pendulum monsters, sometimes we need to search out those spells and traps, even if we may necessarily not want to. And here we have 2 copies of Hi-Speedroid Rubber Band Shooter. Before, this was a choke point for the deck, and the nice thing is that you can still kind of play around even if they do happen to stop this card, and that's great, especially for me. I have this deck in real life, and it's very annoying when people stop this. It has some flexibility. It reminds me of the Glad Beast, another deck I own in real life. It's really annoying when your opponent would hit your Test Panther, and they're just kind of adding more to this deck and make it a lot more flexible. And in the side deck, I have cards for you to consider. So Wind the Wind Chandler is able to search out a Wind card. A lot of people still run this card. It's decent. You can discard it, add one, but you have to discard itself and one other Wind monster in order to search out one other Wind. So you just have to keep that in mind. It's a kind of heavy cost, but it can search out whatever you may need. Also, the nice thing is Fuwalos is searchable using that. You know, use that as you will. Same thing with Drill and Lockbird in case you need it, or you can use them as discard material for Win as well. Then we have another copy of Den Daiko. Having an extra copy of Speedroid Den Daiko is nice because you can have some more recursion with the graveyard material. Just have to find space for it. Clearwing Fast Dragon. Usually I didn't get this out, and I'm okay with the extra copy of Clearwing, but you may need to have that extra copy just so that we have a target for the Broadband Shooter and just have 2 Clearwings anyways. And then the puzzle here, this is if you wanted to go into that crazy boss monster. Puzzle isn't really necessary anymore. Martial Metal Marcher. This card you can run if you'd like. You can special summon a tuner in your graveyard, and you can see it. I use it in one of the combos. It's still very solid, a Wind Synchro monster, but I decided to cut it completely. Another copy of Triple Tactic Talents, which could be a pretty decent card to put in here. Speedroid Wheel as well. It's solid. It's able to get a bunch of cards on the board, and so having that 3rd copy can be worth it as well. And then Called by the Grave. Hand traps suck. I just don't know what to get rid of to put it. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments down below. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.